Okay, in this video we're looking at percentages. So we're going to be finding percentages, we're going to be looking at percentage change, and we're also going to be looking at reverse percentages. So to start with, let's look at some finding percentage questions. So let's look at an example that's common to all of us. So let's say you got 75 out of 85 in an intelligence test, pretty good score. What was the percentage that you got? Okay, so the first thing you need to do in any of these kind of finding percentage questions is to write the fraction as a decimal. Okay. Now we don't really need to do that. We just need to write the fraction, put it in our calculator, and our calculator sorts it out. Once you've done that, you then multiply by 100. Okay. We've already got the fraction in this question. The fraction is 75 over 85. So we could do 75 over 85 times by 100 in our calculator. You might write it as 75 divided by 85 times by 100. Now when you do this in your calculator, you'll get a decimal that goes on for a while, so you could write this as 88.2% to three significant figures. That's just rounding it. Okay, slightly more complicated question now. A football player earned £121,000 per week last year. He now earns £130,000 per week. By what percentage has his salary increased? Okay, so what do we have to do in this percentage question? Well, first we have to write the fraction out. Okay, we put that fraction in our calculator, then we multiply it by 100. So what is the fraction we're looking at now? Well, we're looking at by what percentage has his salary increased by. Well, how much has his salary increased by? Think about it. It went from 121,000 to 130,000. So what has his salary increased by? Well, in real terms, it's increased by 9,000. We're looking at the fraction. So it increased by 9,000 from 121,000. So it's going to be 9,000 divided by 121,000. You put this in your calculator and you multiply it by 100, and that will give you the percent. Percent being 7.44. Rounded to the three significant figures. Okay, so the key to doing this kind of question, any other questions like this, is to just write out the fraction. Most important thing, put that fraction in your calculator, multiply it by 100. Okay, next kind of question. So I'm going to give you may have various methods for these kind of questions, but I'll give you two methods, one which most people should follow, and the other only if you're really confident should you follow the next method. Okay, so increase £33 by 20%. Okay, so to start with in this question, we're starting from 100%. 100% is equal to £33. We want to increase that by 20%. So our new percentage that we're going to end up with is 120%. We went from 100, increased that by 20% to get to 120%. Now we want to find out what that is equal to. That's our goal, find out what 120% is equal to. When you set up questions like this, they become very easy. Why do they become easy? Well, I could just find 1% to start with. How would I find 1%? Well, I know 100% is 33, so I just divide by 100, and I get 1%, which is 33p. How do I do that? Well, I just divided by 100. Okay, how do I get from 1% to 120%? Well, I just multiply by 120. If you do that to both sides, you'll find that 120% is equal to £39.60. 0.33 times 120 is £39.60. This is my preferred method for anyone watching this video. Okay, the fast method is to ignore the 1% bit, ignore that line in yellow, and just say, well, how do I get from 100% to 120%? Well, I could just times by 1.2. That's the fast method. You skip the 1% and you just go straight to 120%. That's using something called multipliers. So increasing by 20% is the same as timesing by 1.2. Okay, 33 times 1.2 would be £39.60. Okay, but there's no reason why you shouldn't do the first method, going to 1% and then 120%. Okay, so different kind of question. Well, different question, but same sort. decrease £107 by 13%. Decrease £107. So £107 in this instance is 100%. Now think about what percent we want. If we're decreasing 100% by 13%, what new percent do we want? Think about that. Come up with an answer. Well, we want 87%. Decreasing 100% by 87% is going to give you, decreasing 100% by 13% is going to give you 87%. Now our goal is to find out what 87% is equal to. Now we do exactly the same thing. We find 1%. How do we find 1%? Well, we divide both sides by 100. In this case, we get £1.07. Divide by 100 on both sides. Okay. Now, how do I get from 1% to 87%? Well, I just times both sides by 87. Right? Do this in a calculator, you get £93.09. Okay, that's the method that I'm suggesting. Find 1%, then find the percent that you want. Decreasing by 13% will give you 87%. The fast method then. To get from 100% to 87%, you just times by 0.87. Okay? 107 times by 0.87 gives you that £93.09. That's the fast method. There's no reason to do that. You could just do find 1%, find 87%. Okay. Two questions now which talk about reverse percentages. These are going to be so similar to the questions we've just done. But the problem is just working out what the question is asking you and writing it down in maths. So, in a sale, a pair of shoes was reduced by 20% and now cost £48. What was the original cost of the shoes? Okay. Right, so they were reduced by 20% and they now cost £48. Okay. So they went from 100% to 80%. Okay, they went from 100% to 80%. Now we know that they now cost £48. So 80% is equivalent to £48. They went from 100% to 80% and they now cost £48. That's what I've written down in maths there. Our goal is to find the original price. Our goal is to find what the 100% is, because they're now 80%. We're going to use the same sort of method we did just before. So we're going to find out what 1% is equal to. Okay? How do I do that? Well, I know that 80% is £48, so to get from 80% to 1%, I just divide by 80. Do this on both sides. If you divide 48 by 80, you get 60 pence, or £0.60, 0.6. How do you get from 1% to 100%? Well, you just times by 100. Doing this gives you £60. So that means the original price of those shoes was £60. Find 1%, find 100%. The problem comes from setting up the maths. So we'll do one more question and see if you can do it before I do it. So in 2013, crime in Camden had increased by 11% on the previous year. There were 4,107 crimes in 2013. How many crimes in 2012? I'll read that again. So in 2013, crime in Camden had increased by 11% on the previous year. There were 4,107 crimes in 2013. How many crimes in 2012? Okay, so we went from 100% in 2012 to 111% in 2013. It increased by 11%. This is the only difficult part of this question, setting out the maths. 111% in 2013 is equal to 4,107 crimes. From here it should be very easy. We just find what 1% is equal to. How do we do that? Well, we divide by 111. Dividing 4,107 by 111 gives you 37 crimes. Okay? How do we get from 1% to 100%? You just times by 100, giving you 3,700 crimes in 2012. Rewatch any of these questions if you're not sure, but that's 3 types of percentage questions on one page, Make sure you fill out the notes on this that you've stuck into your book. And hopefully when we do some percentage questions in lessons, if you follow these methods and these routines, the maths becomes very simple. You just need to lay out your work and communicate it effectively. Thank you for watching.